Have you ever felt like younger women just aren't attracted to you? Even though you've got experience, stability, and confidence? Maybe you thought being older automatically gave you an advantage, that your life experience, career, or wisdom would make you instantly desirable. But here's the harsh truth. That's not how attraction works. In fact, there are 7 common habits that older men do that instantly kill attraction. And most men don't even realize they're doing them. You might be thinking, I'm mature, I'm stable, I know what I want. Isn't that enough? The answer might surprise you. It's not about your age, your money, or even your looks. It's about the subtle behaviors and energy you project every day. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what these 7 habits are, and more importantly, how to stop them so that younger women actually want to be around you, desire your presence, and feel drawn to your energy. Stick with me until the end, because the last habit is the one that 90% of men completely miss. And once you fix it, it has the power to transform the way younger women perceive you entirely. So grab a pen and paper, get ready to take notes, and pay close attention because this isn't theory. This is real, actionable advice based on how attraction really works. And it can change the way you interact with women forever. Habit 1. Trying to look young instead of being grounded. One of the fastest attraction killers for older men is trying to act or look younger than you actually are. You might think that if you mimic younger guys, using slang, dressing like a teenager, or trying to be fun in the same way they are, you'll automatically become more attractive. But here's the thing. Younger women can instantly sense insecurity. Women aren't attracted to someone pretending to be something they're attracted to. Confidence, maturity, and grounded energy. It's the subtle energy that tells her, I know who I am, I know my value, and I'm comfortable in my own skin. That energy is magnetic, and it can draw her to you much faster than any effort to imitate youth. Think about it for a second. Have you ever met an older man who tried too hard to act young, only to come across as desperate or out of touch? Maybe he's wearing streetwear he can't pull off, or he's constantly talking about trendy apps or memes he doesn't really understand. How does that make you feel? Chances are it feels inauthentic, even a little cringe. Women feel the same way. Here's a personal example. I knew a man in his early 40s who constantly tried to act like he was in his 20s. He would use teen slang, watch viral TikTok videos, just to stay relevant, and brag about trying to play video games like a teenager. On his dates, younger women weren't impressed. They felt he was insecure and trying too hard, and attraction instantly faded. But once he stopped pretending and leaned into his natural confidence and life experience, women responded differently. Suddenly, he was interesting, charming, and magnetic without changing who he was. Being grounded doesn't mean boring. It doesn't mean giving up fun or losing your sense of humor. It means embracing your experience, your wisdom, and your stability. It's about showing that your life has direction, purpose, and confidence. And that is far more attractive than trying to chase youth. Here's a question for you. Do you catch yourself trying to fit into a younger woman's world just to seem cool? Maybe you're mimicking her slang, following her trends, or even feeling anxious when she talks about things you don't understand. That's a classic red flag that kills attraction, even if your intentions are good. Tip: instead of chasing youth, focus on showing confidence in your own age. Wear what fits you. Speak from experience and embrace your natural energy. When you do this, younger women will feel it. They'll be drawn to your maturity, your stability, and the subtle authority that comes from being grounded. Remember, attraction isn't about pretending to be someone else. It's about being so comfortable in your own skin that your energy alone pulls her in. When you're grounded, you're no longer competing with youth. You're showing something far rarer: authentic confidence and masculine energy that younger women respect and desire. Habit 2. Overanalyzing every interaction. Next up is one of the biggest attraction killers: overthinking every word, gesture, and interaction. Older men often fall into this trap. They overanalyze texts, emails, and conversations, thinking every move must be calculated to keep her interested. They check their phones constantly, reread messages, and replay conversations in their heads, trying to figure out if they said the right thing. Here's the problem. Women don't respond to calculated perfection. They respond to natural energy, unpredictability, and confidence. Overanalyzing removes all spontaneity and makes you seem anxious, unsure, and needy, even if you don't realize it. Think about it. Have you ever sent a text, waited hours or even a whole day for a reply, and then panicked about what to say next? Or maybe you overthought a date for days, trying to remember if you said the right thing? That behavior signals insecurity, and attraction dies faster than you can imagine. Story example. I knew a man in his late 30s who constantly rewrote texts before sending them to his younger love interest. He would spend hours thinking about what to say, trying to be charming and funny. The result? The woman felt he was tense, anxious, and exhausting to talk to, and eventually she lost interest. But once he let go of the overthinking, relaxed, and responded naturally, she became much more engaged. Instead of overanalyzing, focus on being present, playful, and genuinely engaged. Don't plan every sentence. Let conversations flow naturally. Women are attracted to men who are comfortable in the moment, confident in themselves and not desperate for approval. Ask yourself, are you enjoying the interaction, or are you stuck in your head, worried about every move? The moment you stop overthinking and start living in the moment, you'll notice a completely different reaction from younger women. Habit 3. Trying to impress with money or status. This is a huge one, and one of the most misunderstood traps older men fall into. Many believe that showing off their wealth, career, or achievements will automatically attract women. Yes, financial stability matters, but here's the truth. Women don't attach to effort, money, or status. They attach to emotional experience. If your energy says, "Look at me, I have money, I can provide, I'm successful," it can actually feel like pressure rather than attraction. It removes curiosity, mystery, and playful tension, which are essential for desire. Ask yourself, do you constantly talk about your job, your salary, or your accomplishments on dates? Do you feel the need to prove yourself every time you meet a younger woman? That behavior may actually push her away instead of drawing her closer. Story example. A friend of mine, a successful entrepreneur, used to brag about his career and how much he earned. On his dates, women seemed impressed at first, but the connection never lasted. They weren't attracted to his money. They wanted emotional presence, confidence, and genuine interaction. When he shifted his focus from impressing with money to being funny, relaxed, and confident, the women started responding differently, showing real interest and curiosity. Tip: lead with personality, humor, and emotional experience, not accomplishments. Let her feel alive, intrigued, and drawn to your energy, rather than weighed down by what you can provide. Remember, financial stability can attract attention, but emotional presence creates desire. If you want younger women to feel drawn to you naturally, focus on making her feel excited, understood, and alive, not on showing off your wallet. Habit 4. Acting desperate or needy. Nothing destroys attraction faster than neediness, and yet, it's one of the most common mistakes older men make without even realizing it. Older men often think they have to constantly chase validation or reassurance from younger women. They believe that if they don't text her first, call her first, or constantly make themselves available, she will lose interest. But in reality, this behavior creates pressure, and pressure is one of the fastest ways to make a woman feel trapped, rather than drawn to you. Here are some classic signs of neediness that kill attraction instantly. Constant texting or calling, expecting immediate replies, overreacting or panicking when she doesn't respond the way you want, expecting her to be your emotional anchor or fill gaps in your own life. Have you ever found yourself sending multiple texts in a row, refreshing your phone, or anxiously wondering if she's upset with you? That kind of energy is perceived as insecure and unattractive. Women are wired to notice tension and desperation, and it creates an invisible barrier to emotional and sexual attraction. Let me give you a story to illustrate this perfectly. I knew a man in his late 30s who was dating a woman 10 years younger. At first, everything seemed great, but he had one habit that sabotaged the connection. He constantly texted her, asking, "Do you miss me? And are you thinking about me?" Every day, multiple times a day. At first, she answered politely, but after a month, she started feeling suffocated. Her excitement faded and she pulled back emotionally. The turning point came when he decided to focus on his own life, stopped over-communicating, and allowed her space. He went back to his hobbies, work, and social life. Suddenly, she started texting him more, showing real interest and even planning to see him first. By removing the neediness and creating space, he became attractive again, and even more so than before. Tip: cultivate stoic masculine energy. Be emotionally present, confident, and strong. But avoid being emotionally dependent on her validation. Let her feel free, not pressured around you. The paradox is simple. When you stop chasing, she starts chasing. Ask yourself, are you constantly looking for reassurance or approval from younger women? Are your texts or actions motivated by insecurity or by genuine connection? The answer will tell you whether you're projecting neediness and whether it's sabotaging your attraction. Remember, attraction isn't built by trying to control her emotions. It's built by creating an environment where she feels drawn to your presence, curious about your life, and excited by your energy. By stepping back and focusing on yourself, you're not just increasing your value, you're reversing the dynamic. She starts valuing your time, attention, and presence more than ever. Action steps: start small. Instead of sending multiple texts a day, limit your communication and focus on your hobbies, friends, and growth. Watch how her behavior changes when you're no longer available 24/7. Habit 5. Ignoring your health and appearance. Here's one that older men often underestimate: neglecting physical health and grooming. You don't have to look 20, but showing self-respect through fitness, hygiene, and style is crucial. Younger women notice when a man doesn't take care of himself. It signals laziness or low energy. Ask yourself, are you hitting the gym, dressing well, and taking care of your body? Or are you expecting attraction simply because of your age or experience? Tip: invest in yourself physically. Confidence and attractiveness are inseparable. Habit 6. Overstepping emotional boundaries. Older men sometimes make the mistake of oversharing or overinvesting emotionally too early. Younger women enjoy mystery and tension. If you give everything up front, it removes the thrill. Signs include sharing every personal struggle immediately, offering advice before she asks, trying to fix her problems. Instead, create emotional contrast. Show strength and stability, but also reveal vulnerability slowly. Let her feel the rarity of your emotional connection. It builds attachment and desire naturally. Habit 7. Trying to control or dominate. Finally, the biggest trap: trying to control the relationship or dominate her choices. This often comes from insecurity. Older men feel they need to assert authority, but younger women value autonomy and freedom. Think about it. Do you try to dictate where she goes, who she sees, or how she spends her time? That's a massive attraction killer. Instead, focus on being an anchor, not a cage. Women are drawn to men who lead with confidence, not control. Here's the part most men misunderstand about strength. Real authority is quiet. It doesn't raise its voice. It doesn't rush. It doesn't manipulate outcomes behind the scenes. Strength is felt when a man can stay calm under pressure, make a clear decision, and stand by it without needing approval. That kind of presence creates trust, because people sense that you're not reacting emotionally, you're leading intentionally. Calm guidance means you listen fully, you move deliberately, and when it's time to act, you act without second-guessing yourself. Decisiveness doesn't mean control, it means clarity. You're not forcing anyone to follow you. You're simply setting a direction that feels safe to follow. That's why force and manipulation always backfire. They reveal insecurity. Calm direction reveals confidence. When you embody this, people, especially women, relax around you. They feel held, not pressured. They feel guided, not controlled. And that's the kind of strength that doesn't demand respect. It naturally receives it. Conclusion. So there you have it. The 7 habits that instantly kill attraction with younger women. Trying to act younger instead of being grounded. Overanalyzing every interaction. Flexing money or status. Acting desperate or needy. Neglecting health and appearance. Overstepping emotional boundaries. Trying to control or dominate. Here's the deeper truth most men don't want to face. Attraction doesn't disappear with age, it gets blocked. And the blocks are almost always behavioral. Neediness, over-explaining, trying to impress, chasing validation, carrying unresolved bitterness from past relationships. None of these are who you are, they're habits you picked up when you stopped trusting your own value. Younger women don't reject older men, they reject emotional pressure. The moment you remove that pressure, something subtle but powerful happens. Conversations feel lighter, her guard drops, and your presence starts to feel calming instead of demanding. So ask yourself honestly, no ego, no excuses. Where do you leak energy? Do you text too much because silence makes you anxious? Do you try to prove your worth with stories, money, or accomplishments? Do you rush intimacy instead of letting tension build? Every one of these habits quietly tells her, I need something from you, and desire dies the moment need enters the room. But when you correct even one of these patterns, just one, you shift the entire dynamic. You become the man who chooses, not the man who waits to be chosen. And here's what happens next. Whether you expect it or not, things slow down, but the connection deepens. Younger women don't rush to leave the conversation. They linger. They find reasons to keep talking. The questions they ask become more personal, more curious, less polite. They're not interrogating you, they're investing. They start matching your tone, your rhythm, your emotional pace, because people naturally synchronize with someone who feels steady and self-contained. They feel safe around you, not because you're passive or harmless, but because you're grounded in yourself. There's no hidden agenda behind your words, no pressure in your pauses, no anxiety in your silence. Your calm signals emotional stability, and emotional stability is rare. That's what lowers defenses. That's what makes her relax into her feminine energy, instead of staying guarded and alert. And that's the exact moment attraction stops feeling like effort and starts feeling natural. You're no longer trying to win her over. You're simply present, clear, and unshaken. Desire grows in that space, not because you chased it, explained yourself, or tried to be impressive, but because you finally stepped out of the way and allowed it to unfold on its own. Before you go, subscribe, hit that like button, and comment below which habit you struggle with most. I'll personally respond to some of your comments with advice. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.